do it. Oh. I thought you were gonna take my picture.
No, I'll be later.
No.
Graduation.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Where are we supposed to be now?
On the back of your midterm review, I believe is it the last or second to last? Page 5. There we go, page 5. At the bottom, it starts the tests. There's lab tests at the bottom.
Like this one? All possible tubes to collect.
Correct, yeah. All possible tubes to correct. Or not collect, sorry, not correct. Okay, what is the first one on your sheet?
HCT and HGB.
Okay.
I think it was PST.
Okay, this is just for hematocrit. And this stands for hemoglobin. But again, we like to shorten things. And HGB and HCT work a lot easier for us than to have to write out hematocrit hemoglobin every time. And sometimes it even looks like this, H and H, because that's even simpler. And things can get confusing. So if we get an order from a doctor that they want us to draw this test on their patient, what tube would we draw that in? Does anybody want to take a stab at it?
Purple.
Yes. Purple tube. Purple tube. That's the only tube that this test can be drawn in. Does anybody know what department that would go to?
Hematology.
Where at?
Hematology.
Yes, hematology. Hematology. So if you draw that test on a patient in the hospital, you would drop that tube off to the hematology department. Okay. What's your next one?
Antibody screen.
Antibody screen? Okay. Well, we'll shorten that to AB screen because we can do that. Any idea what tubes might be used for that test?
Yellow, red, pink. Another one. Purple, I think.
You got it. Someone did some studying last week. Yellow, red, pink, and purple. So we would use these 4 tubes. These red, yellow, pink, and purple. Would be
Like,
the-
does it matter what colors or just any color in that?
What do you mean? These are the only yellow, red, pink, and purple. There is no other pink. There is no other purple.
Like, does it matter what color or?
It does matter what color, because each of these tubes has a different additive in there. Okay, so it does matter. Do we know what department this test would go to? Any guess?
Common blood bank.
Blood bank. It would go to blood bank. It would go to the blood bank department. Antibody screen. Okay, what is the next one?
C-reactive protein.
Or we can do CRP, is short for C-reactive protein. Okay, any guesses on what tube you would use?
Tiger type?
We'll call it an SST, but yes.
Yeah.
A red tube.
Tiger type.
Yes. Or a red tube. It could go in either or. So on your test, when it asks you what tubes you can use for this test, if you put SST in red, you'll get 2 points for that. If you only put SST, you only get 1 point. Okay, so you have to use both. Write down both tubes, SST or red. What's your next test?
Electrolytes.
Electrolytes. There we go. Lights for short. Any idea?
Red top.
Well, which green top though? There's lots of different green tops.
Was it red? Lime green.
SST.
Thought it was red top.
SST. Or no red.
I keep calling SST red top, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It would go in the PST tube, which is your light green tube. The light green tube that has the gel at the bottom. If it's a routine electrolyte test, you can use an SST. If it's stat, use a PST. Because in an SST tube, it has to sit 30 minutes to an hour to clot and then put it in the centrifuge, so that's not really considered stat.
Right.
But if it's stat and you put it in a PST tube, you can draw it and then immediately stick it in the centrifuge and spin it. Okay? And that's stat. Because they'll get a report immediately. What's your next?
Lipase.
Lipase. Any idea what to?
Is that an SST?
Mm-hmm.
NPST.
It's or. Yeah. And PST if it's stat. And SST if it's routine. And if the order comes across as being stat, it will say stat. It'll say stat lipase or stat electrolytes.
So if it doesn't say stat, then it's just the other two.
It's routine. Yeah. What's your next one?
Fibrinogen.
Fibrinogen?
Fibrinogen. Emphasis on the wrong syllable.
And what?
Said emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Fibrinogen. What tube?
Mm.
Light blue.
Yep. Light blue. This little guy. Your light blue tube. And do you know what department that one might go to?
The chemistry.
Coagulation.
Coagulation. Yeah. Coagulation. That is correct. What's next?
The other ones
Epstein-Barr
don't have
virus.
a department to go to?
Yeah, they do.
I mean, but you're just like hitting on the main ones, is that?
Yeah, kind of. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, just picking and choosing. There's
Okay.
really, yeah.
Epstein-Barr.
Okay. Epstein-Barr virus. Or we can say BV. Okay.
SST or red tube.
SST. It says a culture.
SST or red. This is not a very common test.
Why would it,
Which one?
Epstein-Barr virus. Not very common.
what's Epstein-Barr?
Or a virus. It's some kind of a illness in which you don't control your muscles. You can't control your muscles very well. So people a lot of times will, like, if they're writing and then they might lose their pencil or their pen might fall out of their hand, that type of thing. Yeah, you have to look it up. I don't read up on that very much, but yeah. Or I haven't read up on it very much. But what little I know, What's after Epstein-Barr virus?
Comprehensive
Metabolic.
Okay. Comprehensive Metabolic Panel, or CMP, or so much shorter and nicer.
SST.
Or,
All red.
no,
I mean, not red.
PST.
yes. Why a PST?
it's stat.
Yeah. You're doing good. Catching on. And what department does a CMP go to?
Chemistry.
Yes, chemistry department. What's the next one?
Drug analysis.
Drug analysis.
Drug analysis.
Yep.
I'm curious, why don't they just write, I mean, they have a label on there, why don't they just write where the tube goes to? 'Cause
You can write on your tubes if you want where department it goes to.
I mean, why don't they just design them that way?
Because not every tube goes to that department. It could be other departments.
And one
I mean,
tube
like-
can have multiple departments.
Yeah, like the purple tube, for instance, can go to hematology. It can also go to blood bank. Your SST tube can go to a lot of different places. Chemistry, serology. I mean, you just, you know, you just can't say it goes to one place. Except for maybe your blue tube, your light blue tubes. Those are your coagulation tubes. They might be the only exception that, yeah, I can't think of a light blue tube that goes to any other department other than coagulation. Otherwise, these other ones can go to other places, other departments. Drug analysis, okay, what tube?
You said that SST.
No. No PST, no SST.
Blood analysis, red. Yellow.
You're bound to get it right sometime.
Right.
Yes, yes you
Green
will.
one?
Red.
Red.
Ah.
Red. It's this red tube that has nothing, or clot activator. This is the drug analysis tube. Next one?
So are these two the same?
Yes, those are both the
Okay.
same.
All right.
They're just like different manufacturers.
Gotcha.
Or one's old, that little red rubber one is older than the red, the bright red one.
That's gross.
Glucose? Okay. What tube?
Red.
Is that it? That's the only one? No other ones for glucose? Gray's the only tube? It is, Gray's the only tube.
Just trying to psych
You wouldn't
out.
even give anything away. I'm like, you're like.
Yes, glucose goes in a gray tube. In this gray tube. Okay. And the next one is
ESR.
ESR.
Right.
ESR is also sudrate.
Purple tube.
Goes in a purple tube. Yep. It's also, yeah, there's a lot of different names for it. We'll just stick with that. Sudrate. Goes in a purple tube. What department?
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Emo. Any others? Or what's the next test?
PT.
PT? PT. Not the bar,
Light blue.
Not the exercise.
not the exercise. Yeah, I was thinking of the bar.
I like your thought better.
And it's all short for prothrombin time, or pro time. So PT is a lot easier to remember. What department?
By itself, the PT department.
Huh?
It was by itself.
I forgot the name of it.
Coagulation.
Yes, coagulation. Goes to
I spent time and energy on that chart and they're all flying right out of my head.
That's okay. They'll stick. We'll go through them. They'll stick. The next one?
Type in RH. ADO.
Type in RH. What tubes?
Yellow, isn't it the yellow,
Pink.
red, pink, purple too?
Yep. It's all 4. So if you name all 4 of these, you get 4 points. And what department?
Blood bank.
Blood bank. Yep. Blood bank. Was that all of them?
Cholesterol.
Oh, cholesterol.
Cholesterol.
Cholesterol. What tube or tubes?
Isn't it SST on the top?
SST or what?
PST.
Yeah. PST is this light green. And it's got the silicone gel at the bottom. You're welcome. Any others?
CBC.
Oh yeah, CBC. Oh yeah.
Purple.
The most common.
Yeah. Purple, complete blood cell count. CBC. Or hemogram. Hemogram is kind of old school though. You don't really hear that anymore. But. Any others? That's it. Any questions on that?
CPC, that goes into the hematology.
It does. Yep. You don't do very well. Okay. So, the next thing I want to go over are the additives in the tubes. Because this will also be on your test. So however you can memorize what we just went through, like flashcards or writing it 100 times or whatever, start doing that this week. So next we'll do the tubes. The additives. What we just did on the board, that is worth 27 points. And where people tend to fail or not do so well on the midterm is because they haven't studied and memorized their tests with their tubes and their additives. Because the additives is worth 19 points, and that's one question. And it's one question, just what we went through just a minute ago, okay? So each question is worth so many points, and these two happen to be worth a bunch of points. So, I mean, it's important that you know that for your job as well as for your test. Otherwise, you're going to end up not doing so well on your test. And I don't want to have to call anybody. But you look like a good group of people. I know you'll do just fine on your test. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. So the first one we'll go through is red. So you'll have to write this down because it's not in your packet. The red tube, which is our drug analysis tube. This tube. Okay. It's either nothing or a clot activator. You'll have to know both because this here is 2 points. You can put a 0 like I did, or you can put nothing, write out word nothing. But again, we shorten everything. It just makes more sense to us, I guess. Red is nothing or a clot activator. And you can look in your tube, and if it looks a little cloudy in there, that's the clot activator. Okay. The PPT tube, the silicone gel separator, and EDTA, K2 EDTA.
For right now, can you put the color of the tube?
What do you mean? For PPT,
Yeah.
is going to be this curly top tube. This, whatever you want to, I always call it a pearl top, but this is the PPT tube.
Okay.
Okay. The white tube.
The one that says PPT on it.
That would be it. You got it. Yeah.
See, I'm a brainiac.
Yes.
Is it silicone gel?
Separator. And K2 EDTA. Okay. SST. What does SST stand for?
Serum
Serum separator too.
Yes.
Is that EDTA at the end of that?
Yes. K2 EDTA. Yeah.
SSD.
K2 means plastic.
Yes.
Tiger, right?
Sure does. SST has silicone, gel separator, and a clot activator. And you know this is our SST tube, the one that we used to call a tiger top.
The Camel
Well,
Red?
now they just call it
Yes.
an SST.
Mhm. That's what the label says now too. Yeah, I know.
That's
It-
not
they
as
ha-
fun.
I know. I miss our little nicknames for our tubes. Okay. See, light blue is sodium citrate. You can also do sodium and then citrate, Na for sodium. If you know that, you can do that. I don't mind.
Well, what's the name of the light blue? The BB?
Light blue.
Just LB? I mean,
Light
oh, the
blue.
other one's not, okay.
I know, it doesn't have any special name.
Yeah, the SST and the whatever.
I know.
So when I hear light blue, that's just,
Call it Sky.
there you go, huh?
Yeah. Well, he's in the sky tube today. Actually, it reminds me, in my last class, we were going through some of the questions, the ASCP book that I have. Because they do ask you, their questions are worded different, and like light blue, I've known light blue for years and years and years, but they say sky blue. They do.
Oh.
And that's sky with an E.
It's not a color, that's a name.
I know. I I had to laugh. So I'm like, okay. Okay. And the pink tube is K2 EDTA. And our pink tube is, well, it's pink. It's just pink. Well, the last class there was a colorblind student.
Oh wow, how does that work out?
Well,
You
I
have to pay
get
attention to labels, huh?
yeah, and because I also had one of my first classes. I had a student that was colorblind, and she got the pink and the purple were like the hardest for her because they're so the shade wise they're pretty close. Oop. But yeah, I don't know how that works, but he knew the purple and the pink, and so did she by the end of the class. So
That's good.
as long as you know. Okay, next one is purple. K2 EDTA or K3 EDTA. And the 2 is for plastic, And the 3 is for glass, which there isn't any glass tubes any longer.
They don't use glass tubes anymore?
No, not really. Not really. This yellow tube, this is a glass tube. So I know I use this every day almost at work for genetic testing, and it's glass. But everything else pretty much is plastic. Okay, the yellow tube we were just talking about is ACD, or acid citrate dextrose. ACD. And you can put ACD, you don't have to put acid citrate dextrose, but it's good if you know what ACD stands for.
Do you consider this one yellow?
I'm sorry.
We don't have a
You
yellow.
don't have yellow.
Okay, we don't have the yellow, okay.
Yeah, the yellow looks like this, so it's yellow. It's yellow. The gray tube is
Potassium oxalate?
yep. And potassium.
Suddenly got cold.
Are you cold?
Suddenly got cold.
I'm still burning up. I'm sorry. I can. Maybe we should reverse the class.
Yeah, right. Is that,
The K is for potassium. You can either write potassium oxalate or you can write the K plus, or again, sodium is Na or just sodium. It's up to you if you know it. By the abbreviation is fine. If not, then make sure you write sodium and potassium out.
So K is potassium or K plus?
K plus is
K
potassium.
plus is plus.
And Na is for sodium.
And Na is
now, is this stuff made to separate? Or is it to clot?
No, that is an additive that will keep the blood in whole
In
form.
whole form.
Yeah, it won't clot. Okay. Green. And I mean this green. This darker green tube. Lithium heparin. Sodium heparin. And ammonia heparin.
So it's got all of those in it?
No.
Just one of them?
It'll have either this, lithium, either sodium or ammonia. They're completely 3 different tubes, but they'll be green like this. And this one is sodium heparin. I don't know what you guys have. Maybe sodium.
One of each.
Yeah. And this one's a lithium heparin.
Would
So
depend what
depending on the
testing for,
test,
right?
exactly. Yeah. So
Because you can throw off the levels if you use the wrong one.
exactly, which will be declined at the lab if the correct tube hasn't been used. Okay, a PST is silicone gel separator and lithium heparin. silicone gel separator, and lithium heparin. That's this light green tube, or PST tube.
That's the thing.
Lithium. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just shortened it to LI.
That's good.
And the next is navy blue. Or you can say navy blue or royal blue. I don't care. Either one is correct. Same tube. And that's a quad activator or nothing. Or sorry, we're not doing quad activator. My bad. K2EDTA. Sorry.
Or nothing.
Or nothing. There is one that has a quad activator, but we're not going to learn that one. We're learning these two. Okay. Any questions on that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. What does EDTA stand for again?
It's a word about this long.
Okay. So we never have to worry about that, as long as you know the EDTA.
Okay, as long as you did, you just do it.
Okay.
When we go through it in the book, I'll point it out and I'll say, go ahead.
Give it a shot.
If you can say that,
Okay.
sounds great. I don't know. I have no idea how to say that word. That is why we shorten everything. Okay. So next week we'll have a quiz. It's not graded or anything. And just for fun. We do things like that in class just for fun.
The tan one won't be on the,
What's that?
the tan one won't be on the midterm?
No, the tan is, I don't know why they put that one in there, but it's not a tube you need to learn. But just for fun, the tan tube is used for a pediatric lead level. Yeah. Yep.
Quiz is going to be what we went over.
Yes, it'll be over the tests. The additives we'll do the following week. So just, start learning both, but the tests are what we're going to do a quiz on next week. Okay.
I'm sorry, you said that you're going to do the test of what?
The tests. The first part that I put up here,
Okay.
the lab tests.
All possible.
Yeah, all possible tubes for all those tests that we.
What tests? What
Yeah, the one that was on the back page of your midterm review.
Not the additives, just.
The additives are the next week. Will be week 4.
Remember when you did this one? And we used it all.
You're making me sleepy.
Oh, it's horrible to sleep at home right now.
Oh.
It's horrible.
That's no good when you don't get your rest. That's for sure. Okay. There's 2 videos that we're going to watch. And then we'll take our break. And then we'll do our blood draws. Sound good? I don't know if you want to record the videos. You want to record the video? They're on TV.
They're available online, so these.
Oh, yeah.
No?
No, they're just like, it's just. You're welcome. No, not these videos. These videos you only want to see Well, it's not like you want to look at it and see, you know what I mean? One's just general hospitable. It's really cute.
Hospital.
Yeah. And the other one is, I think, is the basket.
That was gonna be the.
Oh,
Driver's ed
no.
video. Don't mess up.